I'm Dustin, Prince of Aphotic Realm, and this is Bo, my indie author friend.
Fabulous powers will be revealed to you the day we hold aloft our mics and say,
I have the Geekdom!
Geek-Men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds.
Thunder. Thunder. Thunder Nerds! Ho!
Alright, welcome to another episode of Masters of the Thunder Nerds. I'm Dustin.
I'm Bo.
And we're going to talk about all the things you love.
Without all the hate.
Alright. So today we're going to talk about some Transformers. Producer recently teased that there's going to be another movie after the Bumblebee spinoff.
Yeah, I guess the feedback for the trailer and everything, I guess they're just getting enough positive feedback. They're already probably planning. It's kind of hard not to get excited with all the news coming in on it.
Well, I mean, there's the redesign. His body looks different. They've made it less like just a compile of garbage and parts, or whatever.
It looks when he's transforming, it actually looks solid, like a solid mass of things.
Yeah, so that looks, interesting.
Yeah, and plus they're sitting in the 80s. That's like a big bonus for me. Like, finally, now you're getting it.
Yeah, although
what you should have been doing.
In the trailer, I gotta give B some negative points here. In the trailer, he spits out the tape. Who doesn't love to be rickrolled? Who doesn't want to give you up? Who doesn't want to be let down? I don't.
I love that song.
Never gonna give you up.
It is repetitive, but it's a good song.
Of course.
It's one of those classic. Here's 1 minute of a song, and we'll turn it into 5 minutes.
Just 15 minutes. It's the same song. Yeah,
but, that's a lot of soul and R&B and stuff.
Yeah,
But I'm down for it. I still love that song. But yeah, it looks really good. I mean, and actually have Starscream. It looks like Starscream.
Yeah. Do we know anything more about this? Does it tell, do you know if it tells, how he got to Earth? Because I remember, when the 2007 movie came out, they did, a comic that came out, a companion comic that told, how Bumblebee was, an advanced recon unit that came and was looking for Witwicky or whatever to protect him.
From what I understand, I haven't seen those last few movies. I haven't seen a lot of the Bay movies, I gotta admit.
Yeah.
And I just haven't enjoyed them. I'm not putting, no hate, not going in the show. But I think it's just a soft reboot because in those movies, Bumblebee's been around forever. And I think he was around during World War II and all this stuff. So I think this movie's more of a, because Hasbro's trying to do a shared universe.
Uh-huh.
And they're wanting to take all their toys, their properties, and put them in a shared universe. And I think this is the first one. And they're trying to build off of what popularity and what fan base is left from the Bay movie.
Right. That's fair. I suppose that's true. For me, you're missing big. You can always get to my heart by bringing out Optimus. So he's always been the weight of my heart. I love B, and after the Transformers 2007 and 2009 Revenge of the Fallen, after those movies, his relationship with Sam Witwicky and all that right there made me like Bumblebee, and I was like, oh man, Bumblebee's awesome. And before it was just Optimus or bust, that was it. But then after those movies, I was like, okay, Bumblebee's cool. I like him.
Well, Transformers has always had such a rich cast of characters that I don't know why they haven't pulled more from the mythology, just that, from the comics and the cartoon thing that they built up and just kind of doing it on their own. But there's a rumor that Peter Collins, is that his name?
Yeah, Peter Collins.
Does the voice?
Yeah.
He has recorded for that movie.
Oh, well, even better.
So we might get like an 80s Optimus. We might get the classic transfer red truck, flat front.
That would be awesome.
And from what I understand, there's only going to be 3 Decepticons in the movie too. So they're not going heavy with the amount of Transformers. No, they're not going to bombard you with like 8,000 characters, right off the bat.
What was that other property that they're talking about merging? That John Cena, or is it John Cena?
Oh,
that is supposed to be.
Yeah, there's a rumor that he's a character from Mask.
Yeah. I don't know.
Was that toy line of the battle vehicles?
Yeah,
because they're making that movie too.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Mask. That's all new.
Mask toys.
That's all new to me.
I think one of the directors of the Fast and Furious, if not one of the original directors, is handling that. That seems like a good mix.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I was like, that seems appropriate.
Yeah. I mean, you get things that drive and you get explosions. Combine them, and you're liable to have a successful film, or at least a summer blockbuster that people will go to. So,
and it makes me wonder if they're going to throw in the Power Rangers too, because Hasbro recently bought out Power Rangers from Spawn.
Yeah, who doesn't want to see like Optimus and the Power Rangers next to each other, like
that would be neat.
The Megazord and Optimus Prime like charging into battle next to each other. That would be awesome. Like the classic Megazord 2, or the Dragon Zord. That would be sweet.
It's just a matter of will we be jaded with the whole shared universe thing by the time that happens.
Exactly.
I mean, I'll be there for it anyway.
Yeah, I'd probably still go. They'd probably still have my money, like, grudgingly. But even still, like, with Transformers, like, all those, like, Last Night came out last year, 2017. I have not seen it. I thought it kind of looked cool, but it was one of those things like, okay, there's so many movies out, and I have to pick and choose because I have kids. Now that my kids are older and they're not so dependent on, us as much, we're able to like have a babysitter and be away for several hours without needing to be there for feedings and such. So we're able to get away, and we have a movie pass this year, so we go to see the movie a lot. We go to the movies a lot, so we're seeing a lot more movies, and it's really fun. But last year we missed out on Last Night, and then for whatever reason we missed out on Age of Extinction. So I'm not sure what happened there. Or no, I think I might have seen that one. That was the first one with Mark Wahlberg, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, I have seen that one. I just haven't seen Last Night. So I was mistaken there. I have seen Age of Extinction. I just didn't see it in theater like I normally do. But yeah, I mean, they still have a story to tell. It doesn't mean that they're not worth it, but some people are, is it that the brand is getting wore out, or they're tired of seeing sequels, and they don't want to go back, and they think, oh, I don't want to go back and rewatch all these other ones or start from the beginning to understand what's going on. Do they have like that sort of idea, like, oh, I have to watch from episode 1 until this episode? Do they have that in their head because we're so used to watching TV in order, start to finish, rather than just jumping in wherever?
Yeah, from what I hear, the big complaints, the films, without criticizing it, is that the run times they're becoming exceedingly long for sequels, because they're still near the 3-hour mark,
Yeah.
And that they're kind of ignoring their own mythology and their own continuity to tell others the story that they want to tell all the time. And people are just kind of getting jaded. And I've heard this from people that love watching the Michael Bay ones, but even they have to admit they're I'm not having fun at it. So I think that's maybe where they're coming from. But I mean, that's just what I've heard more than once. I can't tell. I personally, I don't really care for the Bay movies, so I can't speak personally.
Well, okay, so let's do this. Let's transition into segue. I have the power. You have the power now. Let's hand the reins over to Bo here.
Mm-hmm.
How would you handle it? How would you approach the great big wide world of Transformers?
If I was going to do the Transformers franchise as a film,
yeah,
like,
Would you just remake the 80s movie?
Because I love the 80s movie.
Yeah.
It's amazing, but that movie, there's a lot there. Even for me, like, you have to know a lot going in. There was a lot of, prerequisites. Like, if you don't care about those characters, then, everything that happens in the first 20 minutes of that film doesn't matter.
That movie was rough for me. Like, I didn't see it until I was older. I saw the 25th anniversary edition. Some friends were like, "Oh yeah, you have to see this movie," and so I watched it, and I was just like, "This is awful. They're killing everyone. This is just to make more toys." Yeah. And I was so mad.
That's what it is.
I was.
By the way,
mad.
People, if you got Netflix, you should really watch that. The Toys That Made Us. That's a fantastic docu.
Yeah.
Really check it out. But
The Toys That Made Us.
I really love that movie just as is, because I barely remember the show. Mm-hmm. I just remember the bits and pieces. But if I was going to do the movie, I wouldn't mess with the source material. I would just update it to the point where, just dialogue and stuff. I would still keep it in the 80s so that the Transformers themselves are more magical technology-wise.
Yeah.
I would keep the stupid simple plot of they're a warring race from a planet that has died.
Right.
And they've crashed on Earth and they've hibernated. They've rose up and they've continued fighting on our own planet because they realize that they have the same power source that, they need it. We have this material that we can harness from the Earth. And the only thing that's getting in the way is each other and these little things called humans.
Yeah.
But the Autobots are like, we care about all life, and these people don't need to be in the way, and we should be looking out for them. But at the same time, we need to look out for ourselves. I think that's it. That's the most fantastic dynamic there is. How do you fight a war on another planet with somebody else involved?
Right.
Like, where do your morals and ethics come in on that? And then the characters' backgrounds and stuff, they're all written out. They took a lot of time to write those characters' backgrounds.
Yeah.
Before they even launched the toys. That way the kids, they know what the toy. They look at this action figure and they read all about it. They're like, okay, I got this personality. I know what this thing. I know who this is.
Right.
And I know how to play with this now. So I would just keep it simple.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't, taken that route, because in a way that's very kind of political.
And think about setting it in the 80s. You have the war with the threat of Russia, going to war with them, and then here comes all these alien robots. Like, how does that play from our perspective?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like, the governments try to make deals, be like, hey, arms race. Now it's a race to who can get the Transformers on their side and fight their battle.
And that would be an interesting segue into bringing in G.I. Joe as well.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to do it.
Combining worlds, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then just leave out take a more Iron Giant approach to it.
Yeah.
As in, like, this is a thing that needs to be destroyed, as opposed to this is a thing that we can harness and we dissect it, and the technology and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, we would just look at it and be like, this thing needs to die. This is the scary thing. Then we'll worry about what we can do with it later. But let's kill it now.
Yeah.
Not realizing that, they're a sentient being too that's just in the middle of their own war. And I just think those are interesting dynamics on their own.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. I think that sounds pretty good.
And then being stuck on this planet too. I mean, come on. It's like Superman times 1,000,
Yeah.
So that's what I would do.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't mind seeing a different take altogether. Like, what about, like, just their war on Cybertron? Like take it to Cybertron and have it, sort of be set in their futuristic type world. That way, everything's sort of, cyberpunk type, super technological.
I could go for that too.
I think that would be kind of cool. Like, everything is, on their ground. I think that would be interesting to see it transition. I mean, you got a glimpse of it in one of the movies. Was it Dark from the Moon or whatever? But I just think back to there was the Beast Wars, and then Beast Wars eventually transitioned into Beast Machines, and then
Yeah.
that cartoon just like was really cool. It wasn't as good as Beast Wars in my opinion, just because Beast Wars was just so over the top fantastic. But Beast Machines had it was back on Cybertron after they had done their thing, and it was like so now they were trying to revitalize their machine world with nature.
Yeah, because that was always about like trying to bring it back to the golden age of Cybertron. That was always the goal every single generation.
Yeah, and so it was about like, and it was like that sort of like super dystopian type, the government is coming to get them type thing, and the Decepticons were all after them, and it was complete war. And it's like that was kind of a really cool thing, like living in terror. Like here are these faceless, nameless bots, like just drones of sorts, patrolling the streets after them all the time, patrolling, searching for them. I thought that was really cool thing that they had to live in hiding and try to fight back. I thought that was pretty cool, and I think that would be an interesting narrative to tell.
Yeah, it's kind of like Star Wars and Cybertron.
Yeah.
You have all these rebels trying to fight.
I think you would have to really sell the characters though, like, because not having a human face to put a connection to, it might be hard to make that establish the empathy in the characters.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I would go for that. I could go for a Cybertron movie. I mean, it worked. They had those series of games, which I can't think of off the top of my last gen games that were. Yeah,
like War of Cybertron or Age of Cybertron or something like that.
Yeah. But they were completely set on Cybertron, and it was, about the war there.
Yep. Which is definitely cool, I think. Definitely love Transformers. It is, from everything from the movies to the TV show, cartoons.
And the merch.
To the toys. I would definitely buy those toys for $1, $2, or more. And I tell you what, they have some pretty awesome toys.
I mean, yeah, that's the whole. I mean, come on, we got to admit to ourselves as fans of Transformers, all fans of Transformers, it was to sell toys.
Yeah,
and so, but luckily, the toys are freaking awesome.
I think almost every cartoon was. In the 80s.
Oh yeah, of course.
In fact, was it like Masters of the Universe a toy line before it was a cartoon?
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure every like 80s cartoon was a toy line, and then they're like, oh, let's make this a cartoon so we could sell the toys. I'm pretty sure
a lot of people either took the job like, oh, let's just kind of half-ass it. It's a job to pay for something, or hey, we have an opportunity to take this and make really awesome stories.
Oh yeah,
let's use our skills and have some fun with this. And those are the cartoons that really stuck around.
Yeah,
to me.
Yeah, I mean, what is better than having one toy that you can play hours with? And that's 2 or maybe 3 toys, and that's what Transformers are. You have a car.
1,000. You
have a car. Oh wait. Now I have a dude, an action figure that can shoot stuff. It has a gun, sometimes a missile. Sometimes it's a dinosaur that's now a dude. Sometimes those things can transform into multiple. And
these 5 guys can connect and put together and make another giant robot?
What? Sign me up.
Yeah.
It's just like, what do you mean these toys can combine and be a bigger thing? This is the greatest day of my life.
Yeah, I mean, like, it combines everything, and they were so good that other toy companies had to, like, we've got to have our own brand of Transformers, and they sold amazingly well.
Yeah,
the knockoffs sold amazingly well.
Yeah,
still do.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm a grown adult, but even this year I was begging my wife to buy 2 toys. I was like, just 2. It's just 2. Perfect Effect is a company that makes high quality knockoff. Well, I shouldn't even say knockoff. They're just their version of Transformers. So one of my favorite Transformers of all time is Optimal Optimus, and that's from the Beast Wars cartoon. The Optimus Prime crash landed on Earth like a really long time ago, and Optimal Prime found, or Primal Optimus, whatever his name was, found the Ark where they were at, and then in order to save them from the Decepticons, in order to save all of history, he had to combine Optimus Prime's spark with his own. And he jammed the Matrix into his chest, and spoilers, I suppose, if you haven't seen this. If it's not, sorry. You really should have. It's fantastic.
It's old enough.
And it's
your spoilers.
I know, but still. So he jammed the Optimus Prime spark into his own and became this gigantic, huge bot, and just is amazing. He's got a jet mode. He's got a tank mode. He's got an ape mode, which he was an ape in his, because this is back in prehistoric time. And he's got his normal robot mode. And he's insanely cool. So,
I used to have that one too.
Yeah, so great. And the thing about this is, on the original toy, things didn't quite line up. They could never get things to work quite right. But it was close enough that they're just kids will deal with it, right? Well, Perfect Effect made it perfect, and it's spot on, and it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of plastic that is everything I wanted. And
how many dollaroos is it?
It is $170. It'll set you back, but it is gorgeous. And here's the thing. They go above and beyond. So they've had the original paint job that you can get, but they've also done their own paint job and stuff. And they've improved the joints, and they've made it all solid and everything. But they've also come out with these combiner expansions where you can... It's these two little ape. It's this little expansion. It comes out with these two little apes. And they're oh yeah, we're these two little apes. We're little kids. But then they transform into guns. 2 guns that go into that robot. And so it's an expansion. And everything clips onto this dude. So then the apes transform into guns. But then they also transform into swords. And then together into this big axe sword thing. And then all of that still clips onto his back if you wanted to put all of his weapons somewhere on him and have his hands free.
I'm going to need a link, sir.
Links are in the bottom below. It is gorgeous. Oh. It's so crazy. As soon as I saw, the bot is cool, right? But then it's we're going above and beyond, and we're giving you more weapons for the same robot that you've always wanted. So it's what? This is awesome. So even more cool things to put on your dude to display it on your desk or shelf or whatever. So I was this is awesome. And then the second one that I wanted was Megatron from also Beast Wars. One of his final robot forms on the show was this sick dragon. And
yes, I had that one too.
Is gorgeous. I almost threw up. That's how gorgeous it was. There's no right for a toy to look this good, but it does.
Yeah, because his alt mode is awesome because it's him. It looks like he has this enormous cape.
Yeah,
it's just this floating head cape thing, and he just looks so evil.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, so one of the coolest things about that Megatron on that show is he had this smile, and it always was I'm doing something devious smile, almost like a Joker kind of smile. Yeah. But then he also had this hardcore, evil, menacing look. So this one comes with 2 faces. You could pop on whichever face you want him to have when you're posing him. In addition to all the other stuff.
I forgot that company does the little pop-off faces.
Yeah. So it is the same. I think it's the same price. It's for pre-order. So the price has fluctuated. At first it was a little more $180. Another time it was closer to $200, but I think it's right around $170, $180 right now, still for pre-order. Yeah. But yeah, it looks so crazy good. I was begging, but I haven't bought it yet. I haven't bought them yet.
That's a hard thing to sell.
Yeah.
For me, it would be sound. I'd have to have sound wave.
Yeah.
I want like a really good one. I'd be okay with a gym one, but I want like one of the newer master and I would have to have all the tapes that are available. I can't just have Laserbeak.
No. I mean, you'd need more than one tape. At least, at the very least, bare minimum has to come with 3, right?
Yeah.
That's the bare minimum.
For me, I always saw the main 4. Of course, I recently found out there was more than 4. I don't remember that but yeah, the two little guys and the little Panther and Laserbeak. Those are the ones I remember.
Yeah.
I know how I'd have them posed. It would be, I think I'd have to have Laserbeak like on his shoulder.
Yep.
And then him doing the cassette deck open and him pressing the button.
Yeah.
He's fixing to launch another one. That's the pose.
Yeah.
That's the one I'd have hitting on the old desk.
I gotta say, that was one of my favorite scenes. Just little throwouts when in the Transformers movie when they're like Soundwave doing whatever, and he was like a satellite, and he was like listening in deep space or whatever. I was like, oh, it's Soundwave. Oh, it's Soundwave.
I'll admit I don't think I've seen that one, but I do admit like that wasn't a bad idea to update him.
Yeah,
because he's a spy. He's a spy.
Yeah, and then they had Laserbeak in there too, like because he launched his spy drones out, and he was like, he was basically a satellite that was listening in on every. But he launched his spy drones, which one was Laserbeak, one was the tiger looking thing. And I think he launched one more. I forget which one it was. But anyway, I was just like, oh, yeah, this is awesome.
Plus, one of my favorite voices.
Yeah.
For a cartoon film.
Oh, well, speaking of, this is going away from our toy discussion here, but speaking of voices, this is crazy random, but Jazz from the first movie, talk about another reference.
Yeah.
But Darius McCrary, he's Eddie Winslow from Full House.
Yeah, he's
or not Full House, Family Matters.
Didn't the original Jazz too? Wasn't he the guy from The Shining? What would you call that? I can't remember the job. The guy who was the maintenance dude.
The janitor?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know, but I think the original cartoon Jazz.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I thought that might have been where you were going with that, but I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny, but
I love voice actor tidbits.
Voice actors are insane. I was looking at Frank Welker, and he just has insane voice credits.
Yeah, he's been in everything.
It took me 10 scrolls to get to the bottom of his list, and it wasn't even the full bottom yet.
Yeah, did you hear a monkey in the movie? It was him.
Yeah. Bronx from Gargoyles, it was him. What?
Yeah, he's done a lot of incredible. Him and Corey Burton. I love Corey Burton to death.
Yeah,
he's been in just a ton of stuff. That's how I knew. I think it's how I knew. I figured out I was a nerd before I knew what a nerd was.
Yeah,
because I found out when I was very young, still in elementary school, that there's people that do voices for cartoons. There was a disconnect there, and that Uncle Phil
was Shredder.
Yeah, and yes. I was like, wait a minute, what? And then at school we were watching that drug. You remember that anti-drug cartoon that had everybody in it, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Muppet Babies.
Oh yeah, vaguely.
Slimer and everybody.
Yeah, vaguely.
Well, I remember we were watching that, and I was like, oh, did you know that Uncle Phil and Shredder, that's the same guy who does the voice? And people looked at me like they had that look what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you talking about? And I just remember thinking oh, maybe I'm the only one that cares about that.
Yeah.
And then it just I had to live with that for a bit. I was like, oh, I guess I'm in my own little world now, I guess.
Oh, yeah. No one else cares about this. This is the worst day ever.
And then that kind of stuff kept happening and happening. And I talked to people. And now I have this really bad habit of overly explaining things to people, assuming they don't know what I'm talking about. And it's not because I think they're stupid. It's because it's just the habit of having to explain stuff when I was younger, because that was just all the time. I would start talking to somebody, they'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Explain to a normal
non-nerd.
Sorry, you're a normie.
So Lionel has a sword that grows out, and it says, what are you talking about? Well, there's this show. He's a Thundercat. What's Thundercats? Okay. So anyway, Thundercats.
Let's see, do you know Thundercats? Okay, well, let me go back. Never mind.
Yeah.
And then eventually
it turned to, you know Thundercats, right? That show that comes on, and this bad habit formed out of it.
Yep.
So if I ever do that to you online, or
Yeah.
it's really not an insult on your intelligence. It's just a bad habit I still cannot kick.
Yeah, it's just the nerd-splaining.
Yeah. Well, I have a fun game for you. It's Transformers.
All right, hit me.
And I thought it would be fun. We could close the show out with this.
I'll fail miserably.
Who knows? I don't know. It'll be fun. I'm going to give you the name of a Transformer, and you have to tell me if it's a real Transformer or not.
Oh, God.
I've picked 10. I'm not going to say the ratio of how many are real or not.
Okay.
And you can play along at home if you tell us your score at the end. Number 1, Landslide. Is that a real Transformer? Made up Transformer.
Okay. Do I give my answer now, or do I just tell you at the end?
No, go ahead and give it to me now.
Okay. Landslide. Goodness. I'm gonna say it's a Transformer. I want to say it is.
It is a Transformer, correct?
Okay.
That is an actual Transformer.
I thought I remembered someone in the show doing that. I think I remember the episode he was in.
Number 2, Side Clutch.
If this is a Transformer, I'll be surprised. I'm gonna say no, not a Transformer.
Correct. Not a Transformer.
Okay, thank goodness.
Huffer.
No, not a Transformer.
That is a Transformer.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. Huffer is a Transformer.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, fortunate name.
Huffer.
Number 4, Discharge.
Is this a Transformer? I'm gonna say it's a Transformer.
That one is a Transformer.
Okay.
Unfortunate name too.
Yeah.
Discharge. Number 5, Trailfire.
No, not a Transformer.
Not a Transformer, correct. 6, Power Hug.
Not a Transformer.
That is a Transformer.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, not only that, I think he's a Beast Wars Transformer.
A Power Hug?
Power Hug, I think he's a bug. I think he's like a little larva.
I do not remember that guy.
Like a roly-poly, one of those bugs.
I do not remember him at all. It might have been only a toy, because there are a lot of Beast Wars dudes that were only toys.
I think so. I think he was. Number 7, Vroom.
Transformer.
An actual Transformer, yes. That must have been bottom of the barrel. We're running out of names, Transformer names, but it is one. Vroom. Storm Runner.
No, not a Transformer.
Not a Transformer, although double checking it, a lot of fan created Transformers. Number 9, Breast Force.
Breast Force?
Yes.
I'm gonna say no.
It is a Transformer.
Like breast, like booby force.
Yes. It's one of the combiners. It's a good, I can't remember what they're called, but yes. I came across that one, I was like, nuh-uh. And
no.
I looked it up.
That's outrageous.
Breast Force. Final one, Pursuit.
Sure. Yes, it's a Transformer.
Not a Transformer.
Not. How is that one not? And Vroom is.
No. Yeah. It's, again, another like fan favorite for OC character.
Goodness gracious sakes alive. How about, let's make that one a Transformer and not Breast Force.
Breast Force, it's a combiner.
Goodness. Do we have Crotch Force on there too? Do we have Big Toe Force?
You should have seen some of the names I didn't use. There was like Clutch and Thrust. That was another one.
Oh, goodness.
And I was like, whoa. But yeah, Vroom that one was the one that made me laugh a lot. I was like, wow.
Did you keep tally? How bad did I do? I had to get like a 60 or a 40%.
Let's see how many. You got Landslide. You got Side Clutch. Trailfire. Vroom. Storm Runner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
50%.
1, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, 50. All right, but I had a bonus question for you.
All right.
It's worth 5 points. So you can actually make up and get your full score.
There you go. I'll still fail.
What other toy line did they have to pull from to get another figure for the Transformers here in America?
Another toy line?
They had to pull from a Japanese toy line to get the rights to use another figure because they needed more Transformers.
Oh, okay.
So what other toy line did they pull from in Japan to get an action figure here in America?
Nope, I failed. I do not know that.
Macross.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that, but I could not think of what it was.
But good job still on those, because there was a lot of very tricky ones. Yeah, tell us in the comments how you did.
Yeah, better than I thought. Not bad.
And tell us your favorite, like, real one. Go look some up.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear, like, find me, like, the most ridiculous ones.
Because
I just barely scratched the surface on the odder ones. I'd love to hear, like, deeply buried ones.
Yeah, send us your best ones that you can find, and leave them in the comment or send them to us on Twitter. Our Twitter is Thunder Nerds Pod, and we'll be sure to incorporate them for our last episode of the season. We're gonna do a live show where you get to participate, and if you guys like this quiz, this game, we'll do that and use your suggestions as questions on this quiz, on this game.
And of course, if you have any questions for us, throw them at us. We'll read them in another episode.
Yeah, for sure. And one final parting thought. Yo, Joe, if there's any director out there, I would really like to see a Beast Wars movie. I'm not asking for a whole lot. Beast Wars is near and dear to my heart. It was a fantastic show, fantastic characters, and it's pretty unique with all of the Disney live-action Disney stuff with Jungle Book and Lion King and Dumbo, all that animation stuff going on right now. You could totally make a Transformers Beast Wars movie, and it would be awesome.
Yeah, imagine like a giant King Kong running around, and it just turns into a robot.
And starts shooting a giant T-Rex.
That also turns into
another robot and starts
with a
shooting
tail
back.
Sword.
How awesome. All in prehistoric stuff. And how awesome would that would be awesome. It would be epic. I would be there.
I'd be there.
A million times over. That's all for today. I've been Dustin.
I've been Bo.
And if you have anything, just hit us up on Twitter, Thunder Nerds Pod, Facebook, Masters of the Thunder Nerds, Instagram, mastersofthethundernerds@gmail.com. And that's also our email address. So, see you later. Be good.
Bye, guys.